Hey you guys, we have got a 10 minute unrated game against a Chessbook Club member Ptifur, which is kind of finger food, isn't it? Oh, okay, so this is the fantasy variation, and this is something that is unfamiliar to me. So first instinct is to take here, because then if he takes, we trade queens. This also prevents this knight from coming out, so I'm happy with that. I'm on the coffee. I've got a crate of these Costa Americanos, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish those and then go completely coffee free. All right now. Okay, so now I'm up a pawn. If I take that pawn, we trade queens. I have an issue with queen here, but then I have that. And the knight's not in the ideal place here, because he can't capture. So, develop bishop kind of makes sense. Now, do I want to do this? It's not the end of the world. Well, knight here. If pawn takes, I recapture. I think, yeah, that looks better. Bishop here is an idea. Maybe get the queens off, maybe castle long, put the rook on d1. Okay, you pin me, do you? So if I break the pin, he can take the pawn. I can't recap. Well, no, I can't. Could defend with that. Could attack the knight. Can't go there. Can't go there. Yeah, let's do that. Queen's guarding that. My bishop's guarding that. So it's nice to see my opponent's playing quite aggressively. This is meant to be a training game, so I'm meant to be kind of analysing his play as well. But that's just an interesting start. This position is quite unfamiliar to me. Obviously something I need to drill. So I'm attacking the knight. He can't get there because bishop takes, queen takes. That was possible because it was defended by his own bishop. But now I think I can just take the pawn for free. If he recaptures with the pawn, he's got two isolated pawns. This is also kind of pinned. That's an idea. Maybe this as well. Still defends the knight, but also attacks g7. So if that, he can't attack with his bishop. Let's try that. I am playing more aggressively these days. You know, if you're in a boxing match, you have to punch. You can't win a boxing match without throwing punches, right? And every punch you throw means your opponent has to do something. Okay, now you've missed the threat, okay? Why did my opponent make that move? And more than anything else, if you just goldfish, what's undefended on the board? Now my queen's still defending this, and now I'm attacking the rook. You've got this as an idea. You've got this as an idea, which is probably the move. But then we trade off queens, and I'm 2 pawns up. You know, what's not to like? This is still pinned. Okay, we trade queens. So now we're 2 pawns up, and look at my opponent's pawns. Pew, 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 and pew. Every one of them isolated. So now I'm simply going to play this, defend the knight, get ready to castle. Castling isn't as critical when the queens are off the board, but all the minor pieces are still on the board, right? All the rooks are still on the board. Everything's still on there. All that's come off is queens, and in my opponent's case, 4 pawns, in my case 2. So there's still a lot of sharks in the water. So castling now is kind of attractive. These knights are quite well placed. This bishop's all right. But my job really is just going to be picking off these pawns now. That's what I want to do. Maybe bishop here, pin this knight. Maybe move my bishop, attack it second time. It is defended twice. Got two buddies there. That might be playable at some point. Okay, he's attacking this. So this bishop is tied now to the defense of that. Okay, so what just changed? I like the idea of this with a threat of a fork. Let's see if ptifur notices. And I'm also proposing a trade of bishops, which is good for me because I have an extra pawn, two extra pawns. Got one here and one here, right? So whereas my opponent has got fractured pawns, I've got solid threes. Yeah? Solid three against side and side. Solid three against side and side. So if he trades bishops, happy days. Okay, so he's seen that. Now if I trade bishops, he's going to connect his pawns. So maybe we don't want to do this. Maybe we don't. I don't know. Okay, now, I notice I haven't completed my development. So I fancy bringing my bishop out maybe here, my knight out here. I need to control the board. I need to target these weakling pawns. Right now the king is the only defender of that fellow. Oh, bugger it. This wasn't good. Okay, I'm going to throw in a check, am I? Ah, that was silly. My bishop was the only defender of that, and then I just forgot all about what I just said and started mucking around. Okay, so we have a bishop here, an indefensible rook, or is it? Is that an option? Don't think so. Let's see what we can do. I don't see any way of moving this knight with check, that's the problem, or a greater threat than a rook, because that's all there is left on the board. I do have, however, a bishop trap. Hang on. So if I go here, right, the knight's now pinned itself, which isn't the smartest move in the world. If I go here, his bishop is trapped. If he captures me here, I move my knight, and I think I need to do this. Knight can't take bishop. Oh, he could have taken me there. He could have taken me because, if you look at this, right, this comes with check. I have to do something, and king can't take because I've been moving into check, even though the knight can't actually capture it because it's pinned itself. Right, he's in trouble. So I think that was a miscalculation. I think this was the better in-between move. And now I have an issue. If I simply take that, the knight is no longer pinned. He wins my bishop outright. So now I think I have to do this move and trap this bishop. If he takes there or goes there, I capture him. I'm still threatening this, and I'm still threatening this, which is pinned. Interesting times. My opponent is currently up a rook for one pawn. He's just under 6 minutes, I'm just under 5. It's unrated, so it's all just for fun. Okay, so we have bishop under attack, a pinned knight, a bishop under attack, a bishop kind of under... Okay, right. Perhaps not ideal, because you've got two pieces under attack. So you're going to lose one of them. And I'm going to take this one because that's the one that can get away. This one can't. This one's trapped. So now, let's reassess. Okay, I have 4 minor pieces, so I'm down an exchange, but I have an extra pawn. And now he's trading off more material, but when his bishop is still trapped. So he's going to go down another minor piece. So the situation is going to be, I'm going to have a rook and 3 minors to his 2 rooks and 1 minor. Which is better for yours truly, is it not? I have a check. You can't go there, can't go there, can't stay there, can't go there. Huh. It's quite a nice move. Or do I just take out the bishop first? So if I check here, there's no, 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 no. So the king has to go here or here or here. This one attacks the knight, and then I throw in another check that undefends the pawn. Okay, I'm not going to do that. He's going to capture again. Okay. Now I have checks here. So now what I'm going to use is my piece majority, right? Although material is kind of equal. Okay, I'd love to play that, but it's not going to happen. The knight's under attack. And the knight's only defender of that. This is the issue that I saw. Go here, king can take. Okay, I'm going to go for this and try and win this pawn. Okay. And this is just one of those situations where I'm hoping that simply having one more piece on the board and him having a king out in the open just means that I have more options to control squares. Yeah, he has 2 rooks, which in a, very close to the end game could be decisive. Okay, now I have a hanging pawn. I have check option with a rook. I have knight to here. I kind of like that move. Hits the rook. Rook can't go here, here. Could go to this square here. But then I hit the king and the king has to... Okay, right, let's do one of these. Okay, towards the center. I'm hitting the rook. If the rook comes here, again, this is the same thing, right? Well, it's a common pattern anyway. If you can deflect the defender of the piece away, in fact, he'd have to block here and then we trade off. Huh. Right, you've gone for that one, have you? Well, that's not a huge threat. Okay, if I go here, he can't go there, 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 there. Okay, this might come down to the clock. Okay, and now do I have any more checks? There. If he comes here now, I've spotted I have a fork with the bishop. But then he captures the pawn. I capture his rook, he captures my rook, I take his knight. Okay, fork. He takes me, I take his rook, he takes my rook. And now it's 3 against 1. This rook may be the more mobile piece, but these knights can defend each other all day long. Alright, so I'm going to come here, attack this guy. Right, let's bring the king over. I really want to centralize my knights in some way. Okay. He wants to come here, right? If I bring my knight here, it defends this pawn. But then he can come here and pin the bishop. So I'm going to bring this knight in. Hang on. Lorks. Right, this move then protects this square. I kind of want to be moving my knights in pairs so that they keep defending each other. Okay, let's attack the pawn. Then the knights can come in. And look, my opponent's king is already kind of running out of squares. He's only got one right now. Okay, so what do we do here? King only currently has one square to go to. If I play this, I could sack my knight for the pawn, and I still have a fighting chance, but I've only got a minute. Okay, right, I'm going to get ready to sack my bishop for the pawn, I think. I have a check here. Pawn goes here. Well, that could be interesting. Pawn goes here. The king can't go there. So then I check, and he's only got this. Then I check again. That might work. You know, it's crazy, but it just might work. Okay, he's in check. He has two squares he can go to. Right, this wins the rook. Because it's a discovered check. I win the rook. Even if the pawn gets to here, I can take it out with my bishop. But I only have 50 seconds to win the day. Okay, forget that. I'm coming up to these pawns. That was a close one. Interesting tactics though, eh? Okay, let's take out her. I'm going to pre-move this. My king can keep his king out. Okay, let's take this one. All I need to do is get one pawn past. Check you. You've got nothing there. If he takes, I take. Move the knight. Okay, knights are covering a lot of squares. This is fine. Okay, and king. And here, and king there maybe. Okay. Alright, king here. Ooh. King back to there. Oh, it was defended by the knight. Okay, pair the knights. Bring the king round to here. Can't go there. And more. And more. And check. And here. Oh, I don't know. 19 seconds. Come on. Check. And check. And now I don't think you can stop me. I don't think you can. There, and this and this. Okay, that's queen. Queen here. Okay, now there. 10 seconds. Okay, here. Here. One second. Okay. Oh, good game. Good game. That was a really fun game. We don't need to analyse too deeply. I mean, just what fun. And to finish, my opponent finished with a minute 38. I had a completely wrong position. I really should have finished that quicker. So let's. If, like me, you struggle with this, okay, you can go to leechess.org, right? Tools, learn, practice, okay? And we're going to go to checkmate patterns 1. Hopefully, oh no, it's not that, it's just endgames, isn't it? Rook endgames. Peace checkmates. 1. Basic checkmates. That'll be it. Okay, queen mate. All right, here we go. So you come onto this queen mate in piece checkmates 1, and you want to put your king in a knight's move away from your opponent's king, and then you're simply going to squeeze down. Now, if you get to a position like this, where you can take opposition, which means that your king is guarding all 3 of these squares, then you do it. And if he goes like that, you move your queen up. Okay, let's move the queen over there. Okay, and now I'm going to move my king here. Now my king is opposition. Okay, hang on. Okay, so now just move the queen. Okay, and we're looking for opposition again. Just move the queen. So this is a holding move. Opposition. Checkmate. No, it's not. Ah! See, you just need to drill. I mean, this is something you can drill and drill and drill to your heart's content. Okay, here, we're looking for opposition. He can't keep going, and now we have it. And now he's stuck on the back rank, and now intermediate move. And there's 2 checkmates here. This is checkmate, and so is that. Okay, so that's an easy one. Let's try it again. Same one again. Piece checkmates, queen mate. Okay, knight's move away, and now opposition. And if he goes a knight's move away, just here, here, and now we're just squeezing him up until we get to the point where we get opposition. And here, and here, and here again. Opposition, right? Move the queen up 1. And here, and he has to go into opposition, and that's the other checkmate. Okay? It makes so much sense. I mean, we've all had games, right, where we've had a king and a queen against the king and drawn on time or lost on time. There's no excuse for it. Right, let's do it with a rook. Same difference. Exactly same principle, really. Opposition. Okay? Move the rook to here. Squeezing the king up the board. Opposition. There. Let's go opposition, see which way he goes. Okay. So now we go up. And now we go up again. And we go up again. And he has to move back into opposition. Boom. Okay? So, if you can't, if you're as dumb as me with your endgames, then you really ought to be able to finish that. So, okay, let's just try it from here. Where was the situation? And I've got, look how many moves I take, right? Okay, now, let's do this again. So, it's white to move, okay? Here. Right, let's say the king goes to there. We go into opposition, okay? So he can't come here, okay? So he can't go there. He may move here, okay? Knights move away, waiting move with the queen. Now he can't go there, there. Right, he moves here, we squeeze up. He moves here, we squeeze up. He moves here, we squeeze up. He moves here, we squeeze up, right? This is so easy. He moves there, right? Opposition. So now the queen moves onto the same row as the king, or file in this case, right? So now the king can't stay on there, but he can't go on any of these because of the opponent's king. So he has to retreat. When he retreats, what do? Take opposition if you can. That means he can't advance, so he goes here, right? So now let's say we put the queen on the other side. And now he can't go anywhere on here, he moves up, right? He moves up, he moves up. At some point he has to move into opposition. Okay, here, there. He moves into opposition, queen on the same line. Again, he can't go here and he can't stay here. He has to come back here. Opposition, straight away. Okay, same problem. Now he wants to move towards the center. Okay, he's a knight's move away from the king, so waiting move. Okay, now he comes this way. Now he comes this way, right? Now actually he's getting kind of stuck. So he has to go to here, right? And just move the queen away. Now he comes back, doesn't matter, opposition, right? Comes here, there. This is a lot of moves, isn't it? It's probably a quicker way. Whose go is it? Right, it's his go. And you can So I think I might do this. So let's see, it goes here. You can do this and reduce the size of the square. There. So if your if the king moves and knights move away from your queen, you move your king and knights move away from him. Let's see, it goes here. Yeah, something like this. King here. He's actually only got 2 moves. There, and he has to move into the corner. Something like that. Anyway, but yeah, so that did take a lot of moves. That was, so from move 67 to move 96, so it took me nearly 30 moves there. So clearly something I need to work on. You may need to work on it as well, but do use the practice board on Lichess. Just do it until you're boring yourself with how easy it is, and then you will be able to rattle it out in those end games when you've got 20 seconds left on the clock. All right, guys. So there you go. Thanks to my opponent, Ptifur, for that game. Lots and lots of fun. Thanks for watching. Hope you've learned a couple of things. I'll see you soon.